now I am ready. So this just came about. I just felt like I really needed to make a video because a couple things have been happening. And I wanted to go over them. So right now, it is April 6th. And I'm gonna be done classes in a month. And I'm gonna be graduating college in a little less than 2 months. That's really terrifying, but really exciting. I have so much to do in so little time. Today, I spent my day at school. It's a Saturday, in case you didn't know. I spent the day in the studio, not by choice, from 10:15-ish until, let's see, what time did I leave? I left at like 8 o'clock tonight. But from 10:15 until 5 o'clock, I was stuck at a critique. Yes, on a Saturday, we had a 7-hour critique. Mind you, the last muslin critique I will ever have. Ever! But it went well. Like, nobody had any serious issues. Nobody got, like, bitched out. Nobody got smacked. Not that anyone has ever gotten smacked before, but I'm just saying, like, it went well. It was just very tiring, and I'm just glad that it's over. But now I have to make the real thing. So, exciting things. If you are a Census Fail or an Alkaline Trio fan, you need to go out and get their new albums. Allow me. Bam. So these 2 albums are amazing. And I mean, I don't go out and buy albums all the time. Especially a band that I have not listened to in a very, very long time. And a band, I always go out and buy bands that I love. So this is the new Alkaline Trio album. It is called My Shame Is True. And it is beautiful. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Oh my gosh. I feel so much better now. Okay. The guys poured their heart out into this fucking album. It's amazing. It's 12 tracks. And it's just heartbreaking, and it's kind of funny, and there's some really good tunes on here, but, like, ultimately, this is the breakup album of the year. And, I mean, I feel for Skiba. It has to be tough shit going through a divorce and all this other stuff, but, like, Matt Skiba is singing all my feels about my most recent breakup on this album. Personal favorites on this album, definitely Kiss You to Death. Love that song. I Pessimist, another good one. Torture Doctor, and Until Death Do Us Part. Those are definitely some of my top tracks that I like on this album. So now for the surprise, actually, was Census Fail with Renacer, or Renacer, because it's Spanish for reborn. I was very, 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 very surprised by this album, because I did not buy their last 2 albums. I mean, I have Life Is Not a Waiting Room, but I really don't care for it. I like maybe 1 or 2 tracks off that album, but in general, I could do without it. And I have not listened to anything that's on the album after that. I don't even know what it's called because I don't really care for it. I got into Census Fail when I was about 14, so I have Let It Enfold You, and I have Still Searching. I didn't really get too much into the EP, like the earlier stuff before Let It Enfold You, because I didn't learn about them until after that. I mean, I'm 22 now, so I've been a fan for like about 9 years. And I kept on seeing stuff on their Facebook about people bitching about the new album. So I decided to open up Spotify, the new wonder that is Spotify, and I took a listen, and my mind was like totally blown. Like, this is such a transition into a new like genre almost for them. Like, it's still Census Fail, but it's like reborn. Like, hello. It has this weird kind of like melodic kind of like hardcore vibe to me, and it kind of reminds me of like really early Atreyu, and more so It Dies Today, if anybody knows who that is. The combination of that and their old stuff, and you got this. I mean, there's like a lot more screaming and like, not to say breakdowns, but like the riffs and just like everything is just so like awesome, and I was just so impressed, and I couldn't believe that there was people who were like completely bashing this album when Buddy and the guys, you know, poured their heart into this too, and they love this album, and I love it too, and I think you should go and get it, especially if you were a fan like me who didn't really care for anything after Still Searching, because I was very pleasantly surprised. Tracks off of this I recommend that you might want to listen to first if you're still kind of iffy about buying the album. Holy Mountain is fucking awesome, and Courage of the Knife are my top two. Mi Amor is also a really great song. Glass, I mean, all of the tracks on this are just incredible, and my mind was blown. I went to the concert on a whim in Philly. They played at the Trocadero, and I went alone. I was just like, fuck it. I've never been to a show by myself. I'm just gonna go. I've been a fan for a long time. Why not? So I was so glad that I went because the show was great. I had a really good time. I mean, it's kind of boring by myself because I didn't really have anybody to talk to, but fuck it, I'm just there for the music anyway. I didn't know any of the opening bands, and there were so many teeny boppers. Like, not teeny boppers, but there was just so many kids that were, like, younger than me, and I was, like, one of the oldest people in this area right now. I'm pretty sure that all the other people around me were at least 19 and under. And I was just like, I am old right now. It's like when I went to the Sum 41 concert. I was standing in line, and I literally was like the oldest person there. Because, you know, the younger generations are now getting into like these bands that are like more popular, you know, that weren't necessarily popular when we were their age. So it was just weird to have those people around, but they kind of pieced out after the opening bands. I think they were just more into them, and those openers were a lot younger and underdeveloped and not as big as, you know, Census Fail. So glad that I went, and this album was so incredible to be heard live. You know, and they played quite a bit off the new album, and they played a lot of old stuff, specifically from Let It Enfold You and Still Searching. I think they may have played stuff from Life Is Not a Waiting Room and the other album. I honestly don't know what it's called. I was just so glad that they did it because I really don't care for those two albums. So it was all the stuff that I was really into in high school, and I was just so happy. The best part of that whole show was one of my favorite songs is Bite to Break the Skin. I just have a lot of attachment to that song, and the whole night I was up at the front. It was like me fence. So the whole night I was up front row, and I said to myself, Christina, fucking if Bite to Break the Skin comes on, you are fucking going. You are going into the circle pit, and you're just gonna do it. I was waiting the whole night to hear the song. I waited all night, and I was like, are they gonna play it? I mean, that's a really good song of theirs. I don't know why they wouldn't play that. But those bastards, they saved it until the last song before the encore. But as soon as I heard that, I was like, see ya! I like shoved myself backwards, pushed through a whole bunch of people, and made myself to the pit, and I would like got thrown straight into the center, and I was just like, fuck it! Like, so it was pretty much 20 tall, sweaty dudes and one little me. Think about that. I'm like 5'2". So I was getting thrown around. Since I love that shit, I just like was like, fuck it, I'm going. And I was so glad I did. I mean, at one point I got thrown into the wall, and someone just like backwards and totally like hit me in the nose. I'm really lucky that I didn't fracture or break it or get a bloody nose. And I know this is a little embarrassing, but I was so excited when I got thrown into the pit that I almost peed myself. Like, I was, you know, like, when you, like, you know that expression, like, oh, I'm so excited I peed myself. Like, literally, I almost peed my pants. I was, like, so excited. Either that or my adrenaline was kicking in, and it was like, fight or flight, oh my god. But I also had to pee really bad. So, I mean, it could have been any of those things, but I like to think that I was so excited I almost peed myself. Other injuries. I don't know if you can see this or how well, but I'm really lucky that, in comparison, I'm really lucky that I didn't get a black eye because somebody's shoe fucking hit me in the face too when they were crowd surfing. Oh well, these are the things that happen when you go to a concert, but as always, it's well worth it. So I'm glad I went. I mean, it was weird going by myself, but hey, what can you do? Again, if you don't want to buy them, at least go check them out on Spotify or something. My Shame is True and Renaissar by Census Fail, Alkaline Trio. Check them out, they're fucking amazing. You will not be disappointed, especially if you've been like a longtime fan. This will take you a bit to warm up to. It's a good combination of Crimson and Agony and Irony, like, it's a good combination of those two kinds of sounds. And then there's a little bit of their older kind of sound too in a couple of their songs. But overall, don't hate, because it took me a couple listens to get into it, like really into it, but I love it. But yeah, so I know it's been a long time since I've updated my blog, but I've just been so busy, and I like updating my blog, but I ain't got time for that. So, oh, by the way, my hair is kind of bluish. It faded really, really quickly, and it's really depressing. Anyways, okay, that's it. Yeah, go buy the albums, and hopefully another update soon. Bye!